I want to just acknowledge some of our honored guests. We have Mr. Lou Pastina, who is a longtime supporter and alumni of St. Francis College, as well as the chairman of the Center for Entrepreneurship Advisory Board. If we can just give him a round of applause. We also have our own Professor G. For those of you who have had her for ENT 101, let's give her a round of applause. Great. So let's talk a little bit about our judges. So we have Mr. Mark Noto, who is the Senior Vice President, Head of Business Lending at Investors Bank. He is responsible for providing or having investors provide the funding for this program. So I would give an even bigger round of applause for him for making this possible. We have Ms. Saudia Davis, who is also a longtime supporter of the Center for Entrepreneurship. She is a member of our advisory board. She is also CEO of Greenhouse Eco Cleaning and has been a Huffington Post blogger, as well as appearing as an expert on HGTV. A round of applause. And our substitute at our last minute, and again, we should be very thankful for him, is Mr. Michael Kama, who is an Assistant Vice President and Loan Officer at Investors Bank. So most colleges and universities with a business or entrepreneurship program have pitch contests. This is a long-held tradition. Even back when dinosaurs walked the earth and I was an undergrad at Fashion Institute of Technology, we had a business pitch contest. My team did not win. The Center for Entrepreneurship's contest format is not innovative, but what makes our contest authentic and truly resonate with our learning and business community is that the contest supports and aligns with the SFC Small College of Big Dreams. And to be clear, these young women and men, like all St. Francis students, are not only dreaming, but they are actually doing. All St. Francis students inspire me. They are not only pursuing studies, often carrying 6 courses a semester, but are working 15 or more hours a week, engaging in volunteerism, and helping out in other community activities within and outside the school. I would like to also introduce last year's winner. Many of you may have recognized her, Miss Sydney Bell. Sydney is also the president of the Entrepreneurship Club, and we also have Mr. Curtis Alexander, who is the vice president of the Entrepreneurship Club. So at this point, I'm going to hand over the ceremony to these lovely students who are going to actually run the rest of the program, and give them a big round of applause.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you all were able to come out today. I'm super excited to see you all here ready to pitch and show off your amazing ideas and businesses. And let's get started. So first, we have Taylor James Campbell. Taylor James Campbell is a senior graduating with a bachelor's degree in health promotions in May of 2018. He is a passionate individual who is full of creativity and imagination and is in love with the process of creating something new. Taylor has done a lot of community service growing up, so he has stayed geared towards helping people give back to his community. That's one of the main reasons why he would like to start his own business, to be able to provide for those in need and for his family. He is also looking forward to providing great quality and affordable products that will motivate and encourage any and everyone. Everyone give a warm welcome for Taylor James Campbell.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Taylor James Campbell, and my brand is Tay Third Eye Poetry. Tay, for the beginning of my name. Third eye, for in my definition, means wisdom, consciousness, and simply overall being observant of the knowledge around you, and poetry for my passion. I grew up in church. I can say that figuratively and physically. I spent most of my time growing up in church and following my mom, but church helped me mold the person I am today. Through acting, singing, and dancing at times, it helped me break out my shell and become the person I am. I also was a part of this community service organization, Central Brooklyn Lions Club International, which also did community service locally and all around the world. Things like cleaning up parks, feeding the homeless, planting flowers and trees, and things like that. I was also Youth of the Year of my church and also Leo of the Year of the club. I'm passionate about music and poetry. And then, over time, I fell in love with helping others. Problem and solution. My problem with greeting cards today is that they lack culture. I don't see enough common phrases or popular sayings that people will draw to. There's no more value to them as much. And I don't think people really look back on the cards that they get to see what company makes them. Companies such as Noble Works, Blue Mountain Arts, and Calypso Cards. And my solution would be, I have new and innovative ideas for cards, different designs, different textures, and I will make better merchandise to be better keepsake souvenirs, the ones that you want to keep forever. Value proposition. Original sayings and phrases and unique poetry. I will always think outside the box. You could always tell that my words come from a special place. Personal connection and customized merchandise. My main goal is to connect with people. I want to reach as much people as possible to let them know there's someone out there that understands them. And each merchandise that they buy will be a part of them, become a part of them. Like if you have your own jewelry or chain or ring. As far as right now, I have 2 poems published in yearbooks, my junior high school yearbook and my high school yearbook, if that counts. And I understand how words can affect and effect people. As you see today, words have the power to change the world or destroy it. Finances. It's not about the money. It's about making a connection. It's about helping those sick and shut-in children and adults feel better about their situation. It's about making that special someone feel valued and appreciated. I'm bursting with imagination and new creative ideas. Money will be used for production, manufacturing, and delivering costs. And my way of income will come through cards, merchandise, books, and I'll be happy to speak at events, talent shows, and weddings. You're investing in putting smiles on people's faces. Some of my milestones, this is the junior high school poem. You don't have to read all of it, and that's the high school poem. And Tay Third Eye that's what I would like my logo to be. The prize money. The prize money will help me test the market, see what type of products people draw to, what they like, see what phrases and sayings become popular, try out some creative ideas, and mainly for product development and market research. Some of the sayings I already have is mind over matter, which also breaks down to mom, and that means a lot to me. That was one of the first sayings I always used or always had under my Facebook caption or things like that. I also have pain is only temporarily, which a saying that my brother always taught me growing up, and that helped me get through life. Your beauty is rare. Don't fall back if you can't get back up. For those bad breakup cards. And hey, auntie, for my Wakanda Forever people. And would you like to hear one of my poems now? I could tell you it's hard when all you see is a vivid picture floating in your head, wishing you could pull it out and they'd be right there with you, holding you tight and saying how much they missed you. But instead, they left you all alone to deal with all of these issues. I've been hurting so much, I think my tears tire these tissues. Always laying in a cloud of smoke, only way to stay blissful. Soak in the pain and wait for it to go away, that's the ritual. There's no visual or medicinal treatment. The only healing is spiritual. Infected from deep inside, it broke you down physically. What do you expect me to be? When the wind in between my trees leaves, I could no longer believe what I can't see. I won't admit that this was his destiny. He destined to be free or at least locked up to take the plea, but seems to always be a fee if your eyes weren't at the scene. But the eyes on the scene never got the chance to speak, while the wolf and sheep go to sleep, thinking they did a good deed for speeding. I'm tired of these gang members always misleading. You serve to protect, but cause the most grieving. Now what are you really achieving? Broken hearts and a few pissed off witnesses. I for one is sick of it, can't let them win. Why when they do wrong, all their cases get dismissed? Crazy in a world full of snakes, you never hear the hiss. Before you feel the bite, there's no warning. So they do it out of spite. So know your rights and avoid flashing red lights. For war is forming, and it'll be storming when they storm it. Say Third Eye Poetry by Taylor James Campbell.
I'm a person who actually reads greeting cards, and I try and find meaning, and you can tell when people buy them without really reading them when they give them to you. The beauty of this is you have control over your own product and content. It has special meaning. I think it'll find an audience. The hard part about it is getting it out, in the mainstream. And, you could start off local, try and get in a lot of local stores. I have no idea what this is going to, you really didn't get into any economics of what this is really going to cost you or how you're going to get it out there. So that piece of the presentation is missing. I mean, I think you got all the creative side nailed down, but usually these presentations go a little bit more into the dollars and cents of how do you think you're going to get this or what your expectation is. Do you want to keep it small? Do you want to get it out there on a big, playing field? Do you want to get it into ShopRites, Wake Ferns, Hallmarks? Do you want to go on the internet where people could order these things in a box set? There's a lot of ways. My wife was buying cards from Costco. They give you like a box of them, all different subjects, all different levels of creativity, a lot of texture to the cards, a little bit different than what you normally see in the store. So you need to try and put like a budget together as far as what your end goal is, how much it's going to cost you to get there. And then we could have gave you a little bit more feedback on where we think like the obstacles may be. But I think it's definitely something that could sell and it's needed. But once again, you just need to put some numbers to the presentation.
Hi, I'm someone who throws away greeting cards. So I think I'm probably the person that you're gearing this to. I guess my question is, who's your competitor? Is there any competition currently for you that you're looking at that's sort of leading the way in making cards much more of keepsakes?
My competitors would be like Nobleworks and there was another one. My competitors like Blue Mountain Arts and Calypso Cards. They have they have their own unique designs, and Blue Mountain Arts is a couple-run company, which they have their own unique way of making cards, and they now hire people because they've been doing it for 40 years. So I guess their originality is kind of gone, and they're looking for like more people to work for them and create more products. And that would be one of my competitors, well, 3 of my competitors.
What are you looking to do with, like how many poems are you going to put? Is it a specific card or get a specific poem? Like how will you do, you customize poems? How will you do that?
Besides the categories that already are now, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Happy Birthday, you special someone, or anything like that, I'm gearing towards more of any type of situation I hear about or some type of crisis. I will write something towards those lines, not only for a special someone, but like a certain situation to get over or overcome and things like that.
Okay.
Sorry, I know I only get one question, but have you thought about selling to Blue Mountain since their sort of need to freshen their brand?
I thought about it, but then I thought about like just having my own creativity or my own power to do the designs I want. I didn't want that to go away right away. I didn't want them to just take my words. Like I have our own careers, our own idea of what I want the cards to look like or smell like in terms of those type of cards. So.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Jet Wayne Campbell. He is a junior who majors in management and is expected to graduate in the winter of 2019. Was also the prior president of the Entrepreneurship Club. After numerous difficulties starting other businesses, Jet Wayne came up with Sparkle. From the creation of it, he realized that his ultimate goal in business is to help others achieve their goals by providing the tools he did not have. To him, it's very essential that everyone has a chance to express all of their creative ideas. It is a vital part of the growth of entrepreneurship. It's a vital part to the growth of entrepreneurship. He would love nothing more but to act as a catalyst for the new upcoming age of entrepreneurs. Here is Jet Campbell.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jet Wayne Campbell. I'm going to start off with a quote. If you want someone to remember your message in a presentation, an article, or report, tell them a story, which is what I have for you today. So, I'm actually a senior in St. Francis College right now. I graduate December of this year. I was the former president of Entrepreneurs Club, and I was also former senator on SGA. But prior to all of that, I was just a student in college who didn't know what I really wanted to major in. All I did know was that I had tons of ideas, but no way to get them out. So from my freshman year to now, I started about 8 to 9 businesses that obviously didn't take off, or I wouldn't be here right now. But they lacked traction. They lacked oomph, and they failed for many reasons. But the major reason I realized that all of these businesses failed was because I lacked the tools, or the essentials. So, common problems entrepreneurs face, which I guess people here has faced as well, is I have $1 million idea, but where do I start? Where can I get help for? And how do I improve my business? Well, the answer is Sparkic. Sparkic walks you through the entire process of building your own business. We provide templates and marketing strategies for young entrepreneurs in order to get their businesses up and off the ground. We are dedicated to the growth, enhancement, and creation of your business. We have a large network of entrepreneurs, access to mentorship, and we have multiple networking events that you may attend. We also provide newsletters so people can stay up to date with information that's going on in their industry. One of the biggest flaws that businesses fail is because people aren't knowledgeable enough. Oh, sorry. Sparkic also is a variance from any other site that you've seen, such as Handshake, LinkedIn, or Meetup.com. The reason why we're a variance is because these sites provide one specific thing. Entrepreneurs can meet up on Meetup.com. You can network with professionals on LinkedIn. Handshake gives you a network to internships. But Sparkic is a central hub, and we do all of this. This has been a bootstrapping event from the beginning. I spent roughly around $450. $400 was the creation of a mock site prior. 20 to 30 was spent on the logo, but that was because I had it revised numerous times and it had to fit certain scales. In terms of how I plan to grow and my business revenue, advertising definitely is what I would like to do. And because it's for young entrepreneurs, I would like to start in schools. Meaning that the schools, I would approach schools and ask them to fund so that this is free for their students. I want to give each student the chance to express whatever creative idea they have that they wouldn't have the tools prior before. One of my major milestones was the creation of the logo because, like I said, it took numerous tries to get a simple logo that people would understand. Sparkic, spark innovative conversation. Second is this, I surveyed 20 students and 20 professionals. This survey was important because I found that out of 20 students, 14 was interested in entrepreneurship. And out of 14, 9 were actually in the process of starting a business. My next milestone was the creation of my MVP, my minimal viable product. This is the website I've created. This is not the actual website, but something for visuals so you get an understanding of what I'm trying to create. If you scroll down, you would see an example of the newsletters that students would see as soon as they log on to the page. And it would be newsletters from various businesses, fashion, finance, any industry that they're trying to start at the moment. And if you go up, in the corner, there's a more, and there's a Spark bar, which is the feed where students can interact with each other and mentors. And I also provided, and also the website would provide templates, like I said, for things such as business plans, marketing strategies, etc. All right, as for what I would do with the money, I would create an actual website. I would market using Google AdWords, pay for better banners for Facebook and Instagram, and I would conduct more research because research is essential to this type of business where you're always informing people on new strategies. This is Sparkit. Thank you.
What are you looking for in terms of revenue for your first year, and how are you getting there?
First 6 months, I actually plan on doing a trial basis. I'm hopefully starting to start the trial basis at St. Francis College, making the website free to everyone. So the first 6 months, there's not much, but after that, depending on the success, how much success the website obtains, I will go then and branch out to schools and contact schools. Eventually, I would like to start, I had a slide, but eventually I'd like to start it where anyone, not just young entrepreneurs in college, where anyone can become members, and that will become a tier program where you get a basic membership package, which will be free, premium, gold, and that would allow you to do other things, just like most networking sites at the moment.
I would suggest you do a little bit more research on what's out there right now between the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and a lot of colleges like, a lot of colleges have entrepreneurial programs like St. Francis, number one. And number two, there are, and I don't know the actual acronym, but like Baruch has a Small Business Advisement Center where they pull together a lot of retired business people. You know, they volunteer their time, they give advice, how to get started, what funding's available. So I would check that out and see if you're not really recreating anything or doing something a little bit different. And the other thing is, as far as how, and maybe it's a follow-up question, but how do you fund yourself? Is this by selling those memberships at the premium level and the...
Yeah, that's the bigger stage, but funding right now will come from schools. I know of some of the programs you speak of. There's even score.com, which gives you free mentorship. But the problem with each of these things is that you would still have to go somewhere for something else. As I stated, Sparkit is a central hub for all needs starting your business and growing it. Yeah.
So you might refer through your website someone to SCORE.
No, actually, what I've been trying to do is speak to professionals to ask them if they will be able to start their own memberships on my site so that students have contact to them. And I first survey the professional by asking them, are you free? Have you ever mentored? What are your interests are? So, because this is on their own time, and I want it to be as flexible for the student and the mentor as possible, and whatever relationship is formed is up to them.
Okay, thank you.
I guess Mark had some of the questions I had, but I guess your platform. How do you I guess just run me through. How do you engage for the funding? How do you get people to? Is it just It's just to connect them to other like business, like venture capitalists. Or how are these people going to get the money to start?
Well, this is essentially not. This is not like venture capitalism. What this is, it's just giving you the tools to get started. Like a lot of college students have ideas, but they don't have a business plan. They don't know marketing strategies. They don't know financials. The templates on the website allow you to do so. Plus, we allow you to connect with other students who are in the similar industry, and you can share ideas or become business partners. The website works is essentially, if you find someone that you spark with, you can form a better business relationship, or that person can just work as they have a special skill like computing and help you build a site. That's how the website essentially functions.
So just connecting people.
Connecting people and in one central hub, and providing them the templates and advice. Also events that will be networking events that will be posted.
Understood.
Yep.
Runcie Patro is a sophomore who is majoring in management and with a concentration in marketing and minors in entrepreneurship and advertising. Runcie is expected to graduate in December of 2020. She is a student athlete and honor student. Furthermore, she has always been interested in the field of entrepreneurship as well as marketing, having recently completed a marketing-focused internship with the Change School. She looks forward to many more exciting internships during her college career. Arturo Rojas is a senior graduating in May of 2018 with a bachelor's degree dual major, political science and history. Arturo's career aspires focus on immigration law. Volunteerism is important to Arturo, and he spends much of his free time volunteering with NGOs. He has also always been interested in entrepreneurship and saw this college-wide pitch contest as an opportunity to showcase his entrepreneurial talents. Let's give a round of applause.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Arturo.
And I'm Runcie.
So let me just start off by asking you guys a question. Who here has trouble waking up when their alarm goes off? I know I do. Oh, great, we have hands up. So I always find myself rushing out the door with an unshaved beard, and that can seem very unprofessional.
This is where our idea comes in, Razor Disruption. It is a portable shaver that connects to the charging port of a smartphone. After I moved to New York, halfway across the world, to this fast-paced city, I realized how little time people have for the amount of things that they need to do. People are striving to find a simpler way of living, and this razor makes life just a little simpler.
Have you ever been to a meeting or an interview and wished you had a portable shaving device? Well, you could. This could be used by women, even men, men and even women, excuse me, and, and this could be ideal for the frequent traveler or even someone with a very busy work schedule.
Our solution is the handy portable shaver. It connects to the charging port of an iPhone and then in turn uses the energy from the smartphone. It automatically charges through the phone while in use. Our shaver would use a foil blade and also include clasps at either side of the shaver in order to make the shaver stable and safe while in use. In addition, it would have a compartment collecting all hair particles, which can be later cleaned and emptied. The product would also come hand in hand with an app that could be downloaded on your smartphone.
Why would our product stand out? Well, our product would stand out because this market has already been made. It's already been produced. So we plan to make this product unique in its own way. We want to make it efficient. We want to make it more reliable, safer, gentle on the skin, and just everything that the competitor isn't.
In addition, it would also come with an app, which would include a personalized calendar and a guide on how to shave men's beards. The app would put our product on top of everyone else's. The app would synchronize with your shaving needs and schedules, and it would also include guides and advice on shaving creams, and other facial hair products. It would also, there would be no need for shaving cream. It would be sturdy. It would cover a large surface area. It would be gentle on the skin, as well as clean, safe, lightweight, and portable.
So as seen before, Emu is our competitor brand. As you can see, it doesn't cover as much surface area, and we actually bought the product to test it out. And the motor is very small, and it uses a foil blade. So when we got it, I tested it on myself. So I had to hold on to it. It wasn't very efficient, and it was very rough on my skin. It was actually pinching my skin. So we felt like we could improve this product and make it our own.
One of our milestones include definitely making it this far in this competition. In addition, we looked into the MFI program, which is a program that would allow us to legally use Apple hardware products if we needed to use a micro USB connector to produce this product. We also bought Best Emu's portable shaver and a Remington electrical shaver and tested it out for ourselves. Later, we talked to an electrician to help us to have the inner workings of the shaver explained.
So far, when it comes to finances, we used around $40 to, I had a friend that's an electrician, so he helped us out break down the shaver device, and he explained what we needed. When it comes to just buying the electrical competitors, that was basically all we've used for our finances.
We would use the prize money to create our first prototype to help us get an idea of how we could possibly improve our product. The prototype would help us figure out whether the product is feasible.
Do you ever have that problem, Michael? Do you need a shave?
So I guess how would you well, do you know how much I guess you said it was you want to come up with a prototype. Do you know how much it would cost to make total?
Yeah, so basically we wouldn't want to build the shaver from scratch since it would cost a lot of money. So what we would want to do is buy shavers and chargers in bulk from an Asian supplier, and then we would go to a hardware developer to help us connect those two together. And when we checked to buy in bulk each of these items, it would cost around $1,000 to buy both of these in bulk, and then the rest of the money would go into the hardware developer to build our first prototype.
How much do you get in the bulk? How many pieces do you get in the bulk?
In a bulk, it goes up from like 100 pieces to 1,000 pieces. So it depends on how many we want to buy.
And you're going to build it from scratch?
No.
Oh.
We're going to connect the two devices together.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how much power that razor would drain out of an iPhone?
Yeah. So that's what we talked to the electrician about. He explained that the Best Emu shaver, the portable shaver that we did buy, had a very small had a very small motor, and the electrical razor that we would want to use would have a bigger motor, but that would also use a lot of energy from the smartphone, but not enough to drain your battery. You would need to be using the shaver for 30 minutes continuously to actually the shaver to have drained your complete battery.
I mean, I would find out how much will a good shave take the battery down. I think it's important. And I mean, just my advice, I think what that design would need is some type of a stabilizer that goes over the phone.
Yeah,
That just won't work.
Yeah.
Taken out of the plug.
Yeah, we wanted to include clasps. I just couldn't put it on the photo because I'm not the best with Photoshop. But yeah, we would include clasps on either side so it would go onto the phone, and then it would have clasps on either side so it could make it sturdy.
Do you have any idea how much it would, end cost what would it cost you to put one of these out? And what would you charge for it?
Roughly, since we're not known, we want to make it. Since our competitor sells it around 12, like $15 to $10, so we want to make it more affordable than that because obviously we're not known. So we're going into a market that new market. So we want to make our product just cheaper and affordable and better.
There's a company called Telebrands. They're a client of ours. They're also known as Seen on TV. This is one of those kind of ideas. A lot of inventors or people with ideas basically go out and sell these ideas pretty early on because it's a very expensive endeavor to take something from scratch. And for the most part, there's already a product out there like it, but not the same. So you're trying to improve upon something already. So, I mean, you might want to take an easier route and just, if you perfect it, maybe sell the concept or the idea. You know, to put this out in production would be very difficult without a lot of funding.
Yeah, that would be great if we could do that. I mean,
Just go on their website and you'll see they have a whole port for inventors. And you can see what paperwork you have to sign because you're talking about patents, designs. It's pretty detailed.
yep.
Have you looked into patents and to see where you are, if you can even use pieces of this idea at all?
Yeah, so initially we thought we would connect it to an iPhone. So that's when we looked into whether we could use Apple products. So that's when I found out about the MFI program, which would successfully legally, if we were to register with the MFI program, we would be able to legally use Apple products. But with the smartphone, I think the USB connector is a universal device. So I don't think we would need, we could use the product, I think.
And when it comes to the inner works, like the design of inside of it, we did our own research online. You can actually check. There's like a source for all of that, like a data entry place. And our design is completely different from Yimu's. So we would be fine in that case because of the design of the inner works and the outer works.
I could tell you when you're going up against companies like Gillette, some of these big outfits, they have designs patented that have not even come to market yet. So if that Emu company thought of this, I guarantee you some of those bigger companies have something already patented and figured out. So you'll get a lot of resistance that way. And I really see this as a novelty item, not as a real way to shave every morning. You know, I'd be a little turned off if somebody started shaving in the car with their iPhone. You know, so I think, you know, most people are going to still shave when they're supposed to. But it's a cute gift. You know, if you could do it at a low price point, people might buy it for, you know, like a novelty item. I don't think it's an everyday way to shave.
Essentially, our product, the driving force is the app. There aren't a lot of grooming apps just for your shaving device. So what would really put us on top is not just the shaving device, is the app itself. The fact that it will be like a personal to your face, just to the way your beard grows out. It would be like a reminder to how often you have to shave. So what would make it different is basically the app more than anything else.
Thank you.
So next up we have Samantha Scarlett. She's a senior graduating in May of 2018 with a bachelor's degree in management and a minor in entrepreneurship. Samantha has always had a profound love for high-end goods and has been working with the luxury retail sector since 2012. Samantha's work experience includes leading luxury retailers such as Barney's, Saks Fifth Avenue, and others. Throughout the years, she has built such an extensive client book. She is a member of the $1 Million Books, which requires its members to sell at least $1 million worth of luxury retail goods during each fiscal year. Given her experience, it was no surprise that she launched Luxury Snob, an e-commerce consignment business for luxury goods. Give a hand to Samantha Scarlett.
Hi, my name is Samantha Scarlett, and I'm the proud owner of Luxury Snob. Luxury Snob is an up-and-coming online consignment shop on the rise. I wanted to create a one-stop shop for fashion lovers who love to enjoy shopping of the comfort of their own homes. We know that shopping for pre-owned luxury goods isn't always easy, and nothing will ruin your day faster than find out the bag that you purchased is actually a replica. Authenticity is the cornerstone of Luxury Snobs. We staff in-house professionals and apparel experts to ensure that every item sold is 100% authentic and in resellable condition. All items are put through a multi-point brand-specific authenticity process by a team of luxury experts headed by our Director of Authenticity and Brand Compliance. We inspect all goods for an appropriate imaging marking, dates, codes, serial tags, hologram stickers. Everything passes through our strict authenticity test before it is released into daily sales. So I actually have two backstories as to why I started my company. The first one was one of my dear friends was dating someone that was very affluent, and throughout their relationship, she didn't work, she didn't go to school, she just basically was a stay-at-home girlfriend. He gifted her with Birkins, Chanel bags, all the gifts you can think of, and after a while when they broke up, she was left with nothing but that. So in order for her to start back over, she decided she wanted to go to school, but she had no funds to do so. I was able basically to sell all her items within a week, and I brought her in $12,000. Another backstory as to why I started when they briefly spoke about me is that I have extensive retail background. I've been doing retail since 2012. I've been $1 million book at Saks Fifth Avenue as Barney's, and I figured what better way to make money than to capitalize on this. A lot of the clientele that I do have, they have stellar closets, but they have a continuous need to buy the new and it bag and leave things in their closet, and I figured, why not capitalize on this? So therefore, I will go to their closet, I will reevaluate, we'll discuss things that you want from what you no longer want, and then I will sell their items for them. So that way, they're not spending double the funds. So the money that they have, they're basically recycling their closet, and as well as I take a 25% fee of that, and that's how I'm able to produce my revenue. My value proposition, what makes Luxury Snob different from other consignment business, would be that we started from clienteling and personal shopping for our clients and eventually built the platform that we now have. We are very personal and hands-on with every customer, whether they are a consumer, whether they are a buyer or seller. Investors should want to invest. It's because it's a very lucrative market. We offer more than just throwing a picture up on a site and listing to sell for consignment business. We actually provide personal shopping, limited edition pieces. We actually go through our clients' homes and give them their closets a revamped look, as well as styling tips and makeovers. Customers would want to work with us and purchase our services because we truly value them as customers. Everything we do is for them. We want to make luxury affordable. So to those who may not be able to buy a Chanel bag for $5,000, they can buy it for resale for $3,200. One of our biggest milestones is within a year, I was able to have over 331,000 Instagram followers. I worked with countless celebrities through my clientele experience, and we are definitely making profit since I've been open. One of my issues that I do tend to run in, that some of the items, whether they're brand new or resold, because I don't actually have the correct lighting equipment or the best camera to zoom in, I sometimes miss on sales because I'm not able to show them every nook and cranny towards the item. So that's how winning this competition would help my business grow even more. Thank you.
Who's your competitor?
So some of my competitors, I would actually have to say would be Tradesy or The RealReal. The only difference is they're website based. We have more to offer because we actually go in and actually personal shop for some of my clients. So when you're looking for a limited edition piece that you can't find in stores, you come to us, you purchase our services, and we'll be on the hunt to do so. Tradesy doesn't give you the option to do so. Tradesy just allows anyone to sell anything from their closet, and you cannot technically verify if it's real or not. So that's how we're different. The RealReal has a compartment to them where they do they can authenticate a product, but they don't have that other aspect of it. They can just tell you, yeah, it's real, but they can't give you the background. They don't give you the actual correct serial number. They don't give you the actual barcode or explain to you how an item is authentic or non-authentic. And that's what makes me different from them.
You also mentioned platform. What platform are you referring to?
So I started off on Instagram. That's how I literally started my business. And I grew my Instagram followers to over 331,000 within a year. I've been fortunate enough to work with countless celebrities who endorse my business. They recommend their friends or their posts on Instagram. Shout out to Luxury Snob for finding me my limited edition Louis Vuitton boots. You guys are the best, and that's how we're able to build our platform more and more and more through exposure through them.
Does this program go both ways? In other words, do you have people that want things that are coming to you, and do you have people that want to get rid of things?
Right. So as I was saying, I sometimes go to someone's closet, and they would have old Chanel bags or old Louis Vuitton bags that they no longer deem usable for them. So I now take those items and I resell them for them, and I take a 25% fee, and the money the new money that they have to return to them, they're not able to buy new things. So it's like a give and take for both. So that I do have buyers and sellers.
But you don't take ownership of anything.
No, I don't own any of the
You
items.
have no inventory.
No, I take their inventory. I physically go in their closet. I give them an updated look. We discuss things, what you want from what you no longer want. Whatever you don't want, I take. I then post on my Instagram or my website, and I list it for sale. Once it's sold, 25% of whatever the earnings goes to me, and the remainder goes to them. So they're basically recycling what they already have in their closet to buy new things. So they're not paying for new items twice.
Legally, have you gotten any advice as far as you taking possession of their stuff?
Well,
And then, because you're doing it kind of like informally now, maybe?
no.
Where they're trusting you?
No, I do have a written contract agreement where they do say that we are giving you the rights and we hold their items for 90 days. If we do not sell it for 90 days, we then return it, but we still have it listed onto our website or our Instagram to be sold.
So
But after 90
giving it
days-
to you on concession that
Yes.
you're going to go out and sell it.
Right. And they do have to, every time you list an item, you do have to go through a contract with us, and it has to be signed.
You know, it wouldn't hurt to have an internet-based
I do.
piece of this as well. I mean, I know you do this personal service, but to take it out, you know, you're doing that by yourself right now?
No, I have 2 other associates, and I have 5 in-house experts for brand and authenticity.
Is it just this type of, like,
It's-
shoes, bags,
Yes,
get into
it's-
jewelry, watches,
We have not,
sneakers?
Okay, so I do sell all things. I have not gotten into diamonds, but we do sell Rolexes as well, but they're all pre-owned.
Great.
How much does it cost to have the authenticate, like the check?
So it is a little pricey, but it has cut. Before I had a team, I did have to pay to go to, they have a place called Leather Spa, and they do have in-house specials. So I had to pay for that service. Now that I house them myself, I no longer have to pay for that. I just pay my employees out of the percentage that I make from each sale.
And how does this differ from Poshmark?
So it differs from Poshmark because we deal with everything hands out. Poshmark, you yourself can sign up right now and list your items, and if I want to be a buyer, I can't verify basically if it's authentic or not. You could tell me it's authentic, and once I get it, it's actually a replica, or it's not the exact item. So that's how we are different, because we in-house it ourselves. If we feel like if it doesn't pass through our inspection, we do not sell it.
And you've been making sales already?
Yes.
You've earned money and made...
Yes, I have. Are you asking me how much?
I'm not going to ask how much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have Fallon Ramos. She is a senior graduating, excuse me, in May of 2018 with a bachelor's degree in communications. Fallon launched Infamous Vigilante a little more than over 2 years ago and sells her unique designs at pop-up shops and through her social media platforms. Fallon says she inherited her creativity and passion for design from her mother, who was a former art director. Fallon.
Hello, everyone. As Cindy said, I'm Fallon Ramo. I'm 22 years old, and I was born and raised in this wonderful city, which I think helps with my designs and my creativity. I was here last year, and I'm back again because I didn't win, and I'm here for the gold. So let's do it again. I started Infamous Vigilante in the end of 2016. I came up with the idea way before that, but it took me a while to get a logo. And I think the logo is one of the most important parts of a brand. And so it took me a while to get that figured out. But when I was 7 years old, my sister passed away. This is some backstory about me and how I got my logo. And obviously it affected me and the way I look at things. So that comes with my brand as well. And when I moved out of my house a couple years ago, my mom gave me her diary, and I was able to get to know my sister in a way that I never had, because it was from when she was 16. My sister died when she was 30, and I saw this heart in the book, and she drew hearts all over her pages, but this heart kind of stood out to me more than the rest. And I came up with this logo. I just digitized it, and I thought it was very good. That's a bad way to explain it, but it was very important to what my brand represents, because my brand is all about being yourself and being true to your heart. And Infamous Vigilante, we had a pop-up shop a year ago, and we sold out of most of our clothes. We also create graphic tees, and we create we recreate clothes, and we paint them, and we distress them, we hand distress them, we hand paint them, and we kind of recycle clothes, I guess. And we are trying to democratize fashion, which I say this all the time is so important, because I'm just trying to make clothes that regular people could wear. Like cool stuff that regular people could wear and that you're not paying $1,000 for. It's custom. Some of it's custom. Some of it I create like just on my own. But if people ask me for stuff, I could do that as well. I have a business partner who doesn't go to the school, so she's not participating in this event, but we could come up with the ideas together. I'm more of the creative one. She's more of the business side. And last year I asked for a sewing machine. We got the sewing machine, even though I didn't win. I was able to get the sewing machine, and now I'm looking to use the funds to do my own screen printing, so it'll cut down the cost of me making the graphic tees, and I'll be able to screen print on the jean jackets and like jeans that we design as well. So this is some more of my stuff. And thank you. That's it.
I was just say, I wish I had my questions from last year. Where do you want to go with this? I mean, are you happy just doing pop-ups, or I mean, are you looking to get this into a store?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, where do you? I mean, from a budget perspective, it doesn't seem like most of the presentations, nobody's really getting into numbers at all. So I got the idea. You're definitely creative, just as you were last year. The stuff looks terrific, but dollars and cents, where do you want to take this? What's your budget?
Well, this year has been a little slow for us because we're both trying to graduate college. So unfortunately, we haven't been as available, I guess, as we were last year. But it's costly to get T-shirts made. It's because of screen printing and the way it works. It's an expensive thing, especially the way we do it. We do it from a guy who's very low key, so he charges probably a little bit more, but the work is really great. But when it comes to, we have a website, it's under construction right now. I'm fixing it up, I'm going with a different provider. But right now, I'm not looking to be in a boutique specifically. If someone asked me, like, yeah, of course, because that's just me getting my work out there. But eventually I would like to open up my own store. That's far, like a little bit farther down the road, but I would like to be my own brand rather than being in a department store. That's not really what I'm about. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Good.
And have you thought of going to, going to stores, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe stores in some of the malls in the area and just kind of saying, this is what I got, maybe I could, make all sizes of this for you?
There's a store I'm from Staten Island. I live in Staten Island, so there's a store in the Staten Island Mall, and it's called Sneaker Ships, and it's kind of it's a store that like resells sneakers and stuff. But they also, I have a friend who works there who has asked me to like put my hats, and they'll buy the hats and then sell them for they'll buy them wholesale and then sell them for retail. So yeah, I have to answer your question as well. I have had people ask me that, which I am for it. But it's not my main goal. I'd rather be an online brand for right now and be, maybe national, countrywide at first. Which last year I went to LA to market myself with my friend. I have some friends out there, and I did some a photo shoot out there and stuff, and got my name out there. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Put your website on the label.
Yeah, my website's under construction right now, but yeah, I do have to do that.
How much, say this jacket, how much does this jacket cost you? And then time-wise, is it just you and your partner making it?
It is. Me and my partner and some of our friends help us out too. Her little sister helps us out, and we do the work ourselves. So it is very timely, which last year one of the things I mentioned was that I want to be working on my business instead of in my business, in the sense I'd rather be creating and getting my name out there than physically being in the shop and doing the clothes, because it is very time consuming. But it is me and my business partner, and so this jacket I think we sold this jacket for $120, which really, in the big scheme of things, isn't a huge amount of money for some other people like LF, who's selling stuff that they create for $500, which is crazy to me. But it is very time consuming. Which I want to try to get away from the time.
And I think something like this, maybe you have 1-2 good staple pieces, and then get your name out there with those, and then you kind of build off of that. Would probably be the best.
Yeah, and we also do commissions. So this is a jacket that we made, but if someone wants a jacket like this, I could. It's not going to be exactly the same, obviously, because I'm doing everything by hand. It's not a machine, but I could create something that's similar to this if they like it, or to anything else. Is that it? Okay. Thank you.
Next, we have Miranda Stark. She is a sophomore majoring in sociology. She moved to New York City at the age of 18 from a small town in Wisconsin to attend St. Francis College. She currently volunteers for a nonprofit organization called Youth Stars. She's also a student ambassador as well as a student assistant in the Career Center. Eternal Care Grave Maintenance is the idea that Miranda and her mother Christine developed in Wisconsin. She's hoping to turn the idea into a business and create her own branch here in New York. Please welcome Miranda Stark.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me. So my name is Miranda Stark. I'm a sociology major here at St. Francis College, and I will be graduating in May of 2020. My business idea is called Eternal Care Grave Maintenance, and we offer gravesite care, plot decoration, and message delivery. So each gravesite represents life and offers reflection. This can be in terms of marriage, family, children, etc. And these are all memories that I feel like deserve to be carried on, and their loved ones deserve to have that respect, and their gravesite deserves to be taken care of. So as a child, I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin, and in the back of our house, we actually had a cemetery. So me and my family would ride our bikes and take walks through the cemetery. And we noticed that a lot of the gravestones were not very well maintained. So this can be for a lot of reasons. I think the main ones are distance to the cemetery. A lot of people don't live close to where their loved ones are buried. Physical limitations, not everybody can get up and get to the cemetery, and just the luxury of time. So as you can see here, I have a picture of what my business would like to do. On the left, you can see that the gravesite is not very well maintained. There's weeds growing out of the side of it. It's not wiped down, anything like that. And then on the right, you can see that it's really, someone really put the time into making that gravesite reflect their loved one's life. And you can see that there's flowers planted. It's very nice and clean. So that's what my business would want to do, is be that middleman for the person that can't get to the gravesite and do this type of job for them and show them that somebody is still taking care of their loved one's grave. My startup cost is relatively low when it comes to supplies. It's very easily accessible and affordable, so I can get these things nearby. Some examples would be potting supplies, cleaning spray, towels, buckets, stuff like that to clean the gravesite and plant the flowers. Inventory is optional, and decorations and stuff can be purchased per order. So my main part of my startup cost is going to go toward the advertising category. So I made this chart for the allocations of funds awarded. Business cards and brochures would be about $350 annually. And I would pass these out to nursing homes for those who can't travel, funeral homes for those who are leaving the area after the funeral, and churches and flower companies. So my next part is going to be online advertising. I would spend $850 toward this yearly, and I would use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The average age that someone first starts to lose their loved one is between 50 and 55. So it is common for them to, be on social media in this day and age. So Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are a great route to go for that. I would also spend $200 on postage to mail out my business cards and brochures. Some other ways to advertise would be to use my website as a tool to partner with another company. So maybe promote a flower company on my website, and in return, they would have my business cards and brochures to give out in their physical store. Another thing I would put the funds toward is my website. Right now, I'm only on Google Sites, which is a free website subscription that I have. And I can only be found on a Google server, so that's like the main issue with that, because I want to be universal and to be able to be found everywhere. So my New York package is $90 a visit. It would include removal of litter, grass trimming, weeding, watering the grass, cleaning the headstone, placing seasonal flowers, and I would also do a before and after picture to show the client what was done on their loved one's grave. So that's my pitch. Thank you all for listening. I hope you share this idea that it is a somewhat untapped market, and I have no limit as far as my demographic go for age, sex, gender, race. This is really for everybody. But thank you all so much for listening.
Do you have any competitors?
I do know of a few competitors. They're only in upstate New York, though. There's none in this area. So I think that's what really gives me an edge, is there's none in New York City. And I would offer message delivery, which is another big thing for this type of company. A lot of people believe in maybe like reading a poem over their loved one's grave, or putting a type of letter on their grave, and I haven't noticed any other competitors that do that type of thing. So I think just the fact that I'm in a metropolitan area and I have no competitors that I know of in New York City, that gives me an advantage.
Okay. And have you, I'm assuming you've thought of partnering with funeral homes?
I have. I've thought of it. It's not something that I'm really deep into thought about yet. Right now, I think that as far as I can think ahead in the future, that I want to just start this on my own. I think I'm very independent, so I really want to start this on my own and see how far I can take it, But if it did get successful, I would need to obviously, partner with people and hire employees. But as of now, I'm just thinking of, how I can take this business.
Okay.
Have you done all the research as far as what cemeteries allow? Some don't allow live flowers to be planted. Some only allow artificial.
Mm-hmm.
Some remove flowers after a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
My family has what they call perpetual care, which we paid, I don't know, probably back in the 1960s,
Mm-hmm.
An amount of money, which basically they're supposed to take care of the gravesite.
Right.
They don't plant anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we did have a family florist who would go out and do whatever we wanted done.
Mm-hmm.
One of the bigger things, which I haven't really found anybody to do, is the cleaning of stones.
Mm-hmm.
With a temporary, not a temporary, like a mobile pressure washing type of setup, because you really can't get electric
Right.
out to these grave sites. So if you have it all mobile on like a tow bed, a buddy of mine who was in the pressure washing business, did some of my family stones
Okay.
over at Greenwood, and the cemetery really didn't care that we were going out and doing this. But they're all a little bit different, and some of them have local florists that have been there a long time that do some of this. But
Okay.
I think it's definitely there's definitely something there, and there's a lot of different aspects
Thank you.
of what you could do.
Uh-huh.
$90 a visit seems pretty reasonable
Okay.
to get something done. I don't know. It probably adds on from. Is that a basic visit,
Yeah.
or are you going to offer people different options, packages?
I had packages, but I felt like it was simpler just to put it as $90 a visit and keep it at that. And to
If I
add-
wanted plants,
Oh yeah, I would go with seasonal flowers, and then I would have people that are able to request different types of flowers. But as of now, I just have it at $90 a visit because I feel like that's the most easy to understand. But the largest cemetery in New York is actually in Queens. It has 3 million headstones. So I would, and there's a flower company that's near there, and I actually called that flower company and asked if they deliver flowers, to these different grave sites, and they said they didn't have any type of service that does things like that. So I think that would give me a little bit of an edge just to know that in the surrounding area of one of the largest cemeteries in the United States, they don't deliver flowers and they don't, do that kind of service. So that's just an edge, I guess.
that's St. John's.
Yeah. Yes.
And I wouldn't partner up with funerals, but I would let I would give them my funeral parlors, but I would put my cards everywhere
Okay.
if they're willing to do it. They're not in the business; they really don't care.
Yeah.
So it's they would gladly probably just refer you to go out and do that. And if you could do some kind of pop-up stuff, I don't know. I'm not a techie, but normally if I looked up Greenwood Cemetery, 2 florists might pop up along when I'm looking for that website. So I don't know how to do that, but there is a way where
Okay.
you come up when people are researching anything like a florist or whatever. You fall right into that category. You pop up, and the idea is there.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you figure how many people you would need to operate this business?
I haven't gotten into that yet. Right now, it's just an idea. I haven't had any type of clientele yet. I think a good thing with living in New York City, originally I was from Wisconsin, so I always had a car, but living in New York City, transportation was definitely something that I thought of. And I think that, there's so much public transportation. There's Uber, Lyft, the subway, the bus, anything that you can think of. So I think with that, I'm able to go out and do what I need to do on my own. If it did blow up, then obviously I would need to start thinking about who else would be helping me and I would be working with.
You definitely need a car for
And-
yourself.
On the what?
You definitely need a car.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have...
From one end of St. John's to the other.
Uh-huh.
You're going to walk it, it's impossible.
Okay.
And it was, sorry I missed it a little bit, but the that $90 slide. What did the $90 get you?
The $90, I haven't really broken that down completely yet. I would think, about half would go toward the supplies and everything I would need and transportation and getting there, and the other half would be my income that I would make off of that.
Okay.
You're asking, what does the client get for the $90?
Yeah.
Grass trimming is probably not necessary because the cemetery's supposed to do that. Some of them don't do a good job of it, but
The cemetery is in charge of taking care of the official grounds, but ultimately it's definitely the family's responsibility to take care of that individual gravesite. So those are some of the things that I think the family would need to be done if they couldn't do them.
I think the last 3
Okay.
are really, removal
Yeah.
of litter and debris. Not many people are littering out there. But you might take away the old flowers or that kind of thing, just clear off whatever's there. But the last 3 are the 3 primary things that I think people always want the holidays. The flowers put out. So
Right.
you could sell a holiday package where you go out there and do something seasonal, for all the different events, especially, in a Catholic cemetery like St. John's. It's like the few big ones: Christmas, Easter, Palm Sunday. People
Right.
put palms out. So the placement of seasonal flowers would be big. And but you got to get a supplier for that, where you're going to get them at a good price. You may want to use a local florist, so that you don't have to transport, from a central location, at least in the beginning.
Okay.
And they'd probably give you a discount if you're going to be the one person doing this.
Okay.
And the picture idea, I think, is great,
Thank you.
because it brings it all together for the person. They feel better that it's been done. It's proof that it's been done.
Right.
And I think that's a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, next we have Joseph Gaviria. He will be graduating in May of 2018 with a dual BS MS degree in accounting and minors in entrepreneurship and interactive media. As Joe entered college, he struggled to determine which career path he wanted to pursue, and that is how he came up with this business. Joseph strives to inspire others to believe in themselves so that they can overcome any obstacles they face. His business was created to assist students so that they don't need to face this trying struggle. He is also the current treasurer of Student Government Association and vice president of the Epsilon Chi chapter of Tau Kappa Epsilon. Joseph, thank you.
Did you know that in public colleges, only 19% of full-time students graduate with a bachelor's degree in 4 years? Did you know that only a quarter of college graduates go on to jobs that are related to their major? And did you know that 70% of Americans are unhappy and disengaged at work? Now imagine a world where college students graduated in 4 years. A world where college graduates went on to jobs that they were passionate about. And a world where that number was reversed, where 70% of Americans were satisfied and fulfilled at their jobs. You no longer will have to imagine it, because I've created the tool to make that possible. The reason I created this tool is because, as Sydney said, my purpose is to inspire others to believe in themselves so that they can overcome the obstacles that they face in life. Now, you're probably wondering right now, what is this tool and how does it work? And I'll get there. But first, hello, my name is Joseph Gaviria, and I'm the founder of Career Growth. I'm a graduate student. I am pursuing my master's in accounting. I am studying for my CPA. I am the treasurer of student government, the vice president of my fraternity, soon to be employed at a Big Four accounting firm, and graduating on time. I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm one of the lucky ones. And I understand that not everybody else may be. And that is a problem I'm trying to solve. I didn't do this. That's me. So the problem. This is the United States education system. And some of you may or may not have seen it, but this is a famous picture. And it says, for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. But everybody in that picture is not the same. Just like you and I, we are not the same. We don't act, think, and understand the same. So to my next point, the point in time, the biggest problem that we have is the point in time when we start thinking about our career. And the average age when they ask you, what do you want to do for the rest of your life, is 17. You're going into senior in college, freshman senior in high school, freshman in college, sorry. And that's wrong. That's not the way that it should be. You should be asking yourself when you're 11, 10, 12 years old, what you want to do for the rest of your life. Because you'll change your major, you'll come into college, and you won't be happy with what you're doing. The time it takes students to graduate college, like I said, 19% graduate in 4 years. That's public. For private, it's 36%. For this college, it's 29%. And it takes 59% of students to graduate in 6 years with a 4-year degree. And there's something wrong there. Only a quarter of college grads work in jobs that are related to their major. And that goes to with this number where 70% of Americans are disengaged. So if you do the math, 25 per 75 per 70 or 95%, the other 5 are in limbo. But if 25% only go into jobs that they like or that are related to their major, that means only 25% of them are happy. So that's another problem that I'm trying to reverse. The solution. So the solution is the Career Growth will get you started early. And the target audience that we have is from 11 to 17-year-olds. kids that are in middle school and high school. You will start off with an assessment, and they'll give you like a personality test, and we'll recommend jobs that we think see fit for you. If you have your own job, then by all means, you would just put it in and get started. So the way that it works, it's task-based simulation. So you'll start out with an avatar or Bitmoji, whatever, and you'll be a baby. And the way that it works is you'll complete everyday tasks that are given by your desired occupation, the one that you put in. And as you complete your tasks, your avatar will grow. And I believe, and we believe, that progress is fulfillment. You don't get fulfillment from achievement, you get it from progress. So as you see yourself progress, you will feel fulfilled. And this problem that we will also solve is there's less time and less money wasted in college. Some of my milestones is back in December, for my class, we had the Entrepreneur Demo Day pitch, which I had won. 30 seconds, okay. I have two other software engineers, my brother and my brother's friend that I've known since I'm 5. We've been in the field for quite some time now. I have an MVP, which I'm not gonna be able to show you. I have it on my phone if you wanna see after. And my time. I could have graduated back in December, but I decided to stay. And the reason I decided to stay is because I wanted to work alongside my brother and my brother's friend. So I took up 3 classes, app development, web design, and multimedia to learn Xcode that they use for iPhone apps and how to build a website in Photoshop and all other Adobe. Okay, thanks. And we'll get to this after. But, yeah. Thank you.
Joseph, I don't want to scare you, but those 70% that are unhappy, they're all accountants.
Yeah.
It seems like a great idea. The hard part about it is you might be delivering messages to people that don't want to hear them, especially early on in a child's or a student's life.
Mm-hmm.
Parents want their kids to be doctors and lawyers, and every now and then a guidance counselor has to tell a parent that if he's failing chemistry and biology, chances are doctor doesn't really work out for you. So, you're going to have to involve a whole psychiatric
That's
part
what
of this.
assessment would be.
So you need psychological help on this. There are exams and tests and things out there that try and see whether people are fitted for certain types of professions and all that. So, there's probably definitely another market, but I think there's a lot of that out there already. And maybe some private schools are already, using some of that. So I would research that a little bit more and make sure you're not recreating something that's already been done.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have a very long track record of results. A lot of institutions, as far as hiring people, will give you that test to see if this is really for you. Should you be a police officer? Should you be an accountant at our firm? Do you have the right temperament? At the time, I had worked for Fleet Bank, and we had to go through a whole PI background, basically what type of person you are, and are you good for selling? Should you be an inside person? So there's a lot of that stuff out there already.
Definitely.
I don't know if you could ride off of what's out there already and just repackage it, but there's just a lot out, so
Yeah.
beware of that.
Yeah. Just to respond to what you said, there are actually schools that I know, high schools and middle schools, that give out iPads to students, or they're using iPads every day. So what would happen is the app would just go straight onto their iPads, and then they can use that throughout their day or every day.
The way you're going to make money is just selling the software?
So the way it would be a subscription based. So we would sell it, we would go to the schools, and like I said, it would go right onto their iPads. It would be embedded into the iPads as they give it out to the students. And the school would pay for the subscription. It's affordable. I wasn't thinking anything more than $1 for a subscription. And to make that, so going back to my point where it takes too long to stay in school, or you graduate college with a 4-year degree in 6 years, you're spending $60,000, $70,000 extra. So I don't think $1 a month is that bad to get you prepared at a younger age.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure parents would be happy.
Yeah, what's $12 a year compared to $50,000?
Does this tie into any sort of existing testing?
Not that I know of. I don't think anybody, I've run across everything and I haven't seen any direct competitor that does this. The only competitor that I kind of have is LinkedIn, but LinkedIn isn't for a younger age. It's for more older people that have a LinkedIn and professionals, and they have videos and things, but there's nothing that targets the younger generation to get them prepared for college.
Do you envision with the software saying having an open API where you can connect to existing testing softwares into the system so you can sort of track progress?
Yeah.
And link it to games that could actually perfect the skills that they're sort of showing?
Mm-hmm. So I've thought of like the gamification type approach, because I know that a lot of games and apps work that way now, where you have to in-app purchases and all that extra stuff. And creating, I was also thinking with, so you have an avatar, and I was also thinking of making that a community-based thing. But again, that would just steer from the point of this is about you, and this is about what you're supposed to, what you want to do, and what your desired occupation is, and where you want to go. So.
All right, so last but not least, we have Joshua Diesel. He's a freshman who is majoring in management and expecting to graduate in May of 2021. Josh launched JD Bundles a little more than a year ago. He founded his company to solve a problem that many of his female friends had, buying quality hair extensions at affordable prices. Over the past 12 months, Joshua has become well-versed with the international vending negotiations and an expert in levying his social media platforms to drive sales. Despite his success, Josh says, "The idea of me selling hair is still very shocking. I never thought of it being a business I'd be involved in." Give a hand to Joshua Diesel.
Thank you. My name is Joshua Diesel. I am the CEO and I'm the founder of JD Bundles. So a little background of me. I grew up in Ridgewood, Queens. I'm the youngest of four, and I'm the only boy. I have 3 older sisters. I graduated from Bishop Loughlin Memorial High School. I'm in Clinton Hill. And I'm a business management major here at St. Francis. My graduation year is 2021. So the background of my business is home-based. I don't have a physical location, and online. I have a website called jdbundles.com, and I promote my business mainly through social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and on my website. The hair I sell is 100% virgin Peruvian, 100% virgin human hair and blonde hair. Blonde hair isn't called virgin because it's processed hair. Virgin means not processed. So we have a variety of styles, from straight, body wave, loose curls, as you can see in the display. Straight, body wave, loose curls, deep wave, and each customer gets to pick whether they want Peruvian hair, Brazilian hair, Malaysian hair, or blonde hair. So the reason I started this business, because I knew a lot of females that wore weave, and the main problem they were having was finding great hair at an affordable price. So a lot of stores around New York City are overpriced, or either it's not great quality hair. And another problem they faced was damaged hair. A lot of females have damaged hair, and they may have to start over. They have to start cutting their hair and start over. And also, as we all know, all women are very indecisive. So they wake up with different feelings every morning. So one morning they might want long hair, the next morning they might want short hair, but you can't cut your real hair and then want long hair the next day. You have to grow it. So I found a vendor overseas in China that had great prices at a wholesale price, and I created my own prices by starting my own company. So my company, I sell 100% virgin human hair. We go from 10 to 30 inches, from $35 to $100. Most companies in New York City and all over the US start their prices at $60 and go up to $130. I have a variety of colors, so you can have hair customized for you and shipped out to you as a special order. I have hair ambassadors also, as you can see, and that was a photo shoot for me. My value proposition, what I think makes me different from other companies is, on my JD Bundles team, I have a hairstylist. She has a stronger social media fan base than I do. which means when she's doing hair, she's wearing my hair. She's also my hair ambassador. Her customers are constantly asking, like, where do you get your hair from? And she tells them JD Bundles. So since she has more clientele than I do, more people come to me through her. And also other companies deliver within 5 to 7 days. I do 2 to 3 business days. My finances. So my startup costs, I started out like bootstrapping, so it only cost me $450, and I used to do little gift bags. So the gift bags were about $1.30. So I made my website in August. So these records are from August. I didn't have a website before August. I started in February of 2017. So as you can see, I hit my peak. I hit my peak in November. I made $19,000 in November alone. I made $13,000 on Black Friday alone. The picture on the right side, that's from last Friday. How much I've made from August until last Friday, which is $66,744. On average, I make around $8,100 a month during a good month, and projected sales by August will be $100,000, and projected by the end of the year will be around $125K.
So where are you selling right now? Do you have an online presence?
Yes. Can we pull up my website if possible? So I have a website and I sell on a website. So you could place an order. You could place an order via text or on the website, and the website will be the website. The website is on my Instagram page. So once you place an order, I deliver personally throughout Brooklyn from 4 to 8 from Monday through Friday. So I either ship to here if you don't live in Brooklyn. I ship to Queens, the Manhattan, the Bronx, only because I go to school in the morning, so I don't have that time to travel all the way around. And I ship also out of New York. That's my website. Yeah, that's it.
And so how do you plan to scale and market to increase business?
So actually, which was just in the other slides, I actually want to open up a shop. So for future, until I get my shop, I will do more sales. I'll do photo shoots that'll increase like my business and sales, and I will hire more ambassadors. So how the ambassadors go, I'll select a girl. Let's say she has like a stronger fan base on social media than I do, right? I will send her free hair every month. Once a month, she'll get free hair, and out of every customer that she sends me, she would get 10% out of that sale. And I would know the customers from her because she'll get a coupon code on my website. So every customer has to use her coupon code in order for it to count for her.
How do you make sure they don't like kind of undercut you?
What do you mean by undercut?
Like, you know, you have some sales reps, right? Like the girls you
Yes.
pick. How do you make sure they don't say, hey, you know what? You know, I could do this myself.
They'll have to go and find a vendor themselves to test out hair. Not every hair is good quality hair, so they will have to go through the cost of finding a vendor overseas, because most vendors are overseas, and they're testing out each hair, so they will lose money in that aspect, so it's up to them.
And I don't really know exactly how all this works with the weave and the hair.
Oh, yeah, so want me to explain that?
Well, I was just gonna say I'll explain, and then you could. And then can you like mix in like stylists, like make it like, you know, I guess is that like making a salon where you provide and do the hair? And
Yeah, so in the salon that in the future I want to put it, I will have 3 hairstylists, 2 makeup artists, and a nail tech. So girls, you know, on a Saturday they maybe want to get pretty, and they want everything in one shop. They don't want to bounce around from a hair salon, next stop, the nail salon, then to go get their makeup done. So it'll all be in one shop for girls. And
For your supplier, how many suppliers do you have, and how, or vendors, however you want to call them, but how dependable are they in terms of quality and consistent supply for you?
They're very dependable. I've stuck with the same vendor since I've started, and back last year, February. And if I need shipment of hair, I get it within 2 days. And so far, so good, no problems with them. So, and I have great reviews on my hair, so until I get a bad review, then I look into the more vendors.
Are these coming over in the form of wigs?
Yes, so you could turn them into wigs. So like I said, girls are indecisive about their hair. So when you bring the bundle to get your hair done, it gets sewn into your hair, and you're able to take it out whenever you want. So let's say one day you want short hair, like a bob cut. You'll buy around like 12 to 14 inches, about 3 of them. You put them in your hair, you get them sewn in, and then you could take them out whenever you're ready. and then you could put lawn care in. So
Bless you. And to her point, the supply risk is the toughest part of this. One of the biggest companies in this business is in College Point, Queens. I can't remember the name of the company. I used to lend them money a long time ago. It's a Korean company, and they source a lot from Korea, so they have multiple sources overseas. Have you ever been out there yet?
overseas, no.
Like to actually meet these suppliers?
No, I've actually talked to them over the phone. I've tested out other vendors. Like I tested out one other vendor, it was bad hair, so I stuck to my actual vendor, and I'm currently the cheapest in Brooklyn, so the competition for me is really isn't that bad.
So the stuff you see on the street, that's all fake hair?
Yeah, so like one of my indirect competitors would be like a beauty supply store that's selling fake wigs and fake hair, so yeah.
So what is this, how do you price this stuff? What kind of profit margin are you making on it?
It's about 25% margin. So let's say I get, let's say the 10-inch bundle costs me $20. I sell it for $35. And I think the most I would pay for hair is around $53. And then that $53, I'll probably sell it for about $80, $70. I mean, not $80, $90.
But I want a blonde wig, so I call you up. Do you have it in your warehouse already? Or are you ordering it, getting it, and then shipping it?
I keep some in stock. So if I don't have what you need, like I said, my delivery day is 2 to 3 business days. So let's say you don't live in New York, right? So I don't have what you need in my inventory, so I order it. It gets here within 2 days, right? I have that 1 day left to get it to you. I express ship. So that
You don't drop ship from the supplier? It always goes through your hands?
Yes.
So you check it out, you inspect?
Yes, before I ship it out. I inspect it myself. I'm the only one in the business.
And then you said you had a good day on Black Friday. Would you run a promotion or something?
Yeah, Black Friday I did. I believe it was 40% off. I made $13,000. Just Black Friday alone.
Is that something you'll do going forward? Just not just Black Friday, just other.
Yeah. So around now upcoming prom season, that'll be a big jump for me. This summer, weddings, all types of events. Those are like the hot spots and the hot dates for me. And Black Friday and Christmas, I know sales will jump around those times.
Can you just give me the cash flow of this? So someone wants a wig. You charge them? Do they pay you up front? Do you have their money? Do you order the other? How long are you laid out? Are you laying out any money on that wig? So you order it, you pay?
And that's only if I don't have it already. So if I already have it and it's already paid for through me, all right, I don't actually sell wigs. You can actually turn the hair into wigs. So let's say bundles, right?
You send them bulk hair?
Yes. So let's say bundles. You place an order. Let's say you.
So a person wouldn't buy it. It would be a shop.
What do you mean a shop?
You selling wholesale?
No,
like
I don't
a
sell
beauty
wholesale.
parlor, or you selling
a
to the
person will
actual
buy
person?
An actual person will buy it.
Okay.
So let's say you go on my website. You place an order. You can pay on the website, or you can pay in cash. I only do cash if you live in Brooklyn, because obviously I only live in Brooklyn. So if you pay online, you get charged shipping and tax. And let's say I spend around $150 to my vendor for the hair, and I charge you $220. I made that $70, and I keep that $70 as profit. And then the $150, I'll just recycle it back into the business.
I just want to make a statement. If you could do $125,000 a year, you could do $1 million. So there's something that I'm not getting as far as why it just hasn't blown up for you. Maybe it's how you're on the internet, or who's seen, or how they're tuning into your website or whatever. But if you're out there and you've got this down, to a science, you may somewhere along the line you're going to have to take bigger inventory positions. If those sales start coming in a little bit faster, you're going to have to take a shot, see what your popular stuff is, get a little bit more of that in-house. So you're going to have to invest more in inventory, which you've been able to kind of almost keep it real tight, like almost what they call just-in-time inventory.
Yeah.
You're not holding on to stuff for 60, 180 days. You're trying to match it up, and it'll work for a while. But if you get up into the $1 million range, which I think this is definitely, it's possible. It's a few more people, a lot more people clicking on this website, I think you could do it. But if the business will change into something else, you're going to have inventory risk, and you got to, know what you're ordering. It's a whole different, becomes the supply side of the business as opposed to the sale part of the business. So you got to manage both sides, but it'll come.
Thank you.
So that was actually our last presenter. We're going to be making some totals. What I would like to do is if Sydney and Curtis could actually determine who is the audience favorite and how we're going to do that. And we're going to ask the audience to vote only once. You will be raising your hand, and they will be I know we're so advanced technologically here. If you can just raise your hand, and they're going to count. And I ask you again, only vote once, and they will go through it.
Okay, so we have a tiebreaker between Joseph and Josh. All right, congratulations, Josh.
First place winner. He's also our youngest contestant. Oh, he already knows. Like, he's getting up. He was getting up before I even said the youngest contestant. Is Josh Diesel with JP.
Thank you. Josh, I'm good at you. Congratulations.
Who has the big check? Who has Josh's check? Oh, I have Josh's. Evidently, I have Josh's check. Hold on. We need the big check. This is the big one for Josh.
Yeah, hold it up, guys. Anybody else? Thank you. You don't take this one.
In second place is Samantha with Luxury Smile. Samantha's
Congratulations. Well done. All right. Good. Good job. Why don't you get in the middle? Yeah, right there. Thanks. Hold the picture.
And I hope, am I seeing her here? Thank you. I hope she didn't leave. Miranda, where are you? Very good. Miranda? Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job.
And I just want to say, Miranda actually wanted to back out.
I did.
Oh, no. Really?
And I convinced her at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Look right here.
And I want to thank you, everyone, for attending. And I just want to point out, you probably noticed the diversity of businesses. Some of them are barely an idea, and others are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. We tried to be fair and give just what was the most kernel of idea, what was a great idea, what could possibly either scale or be a running lifestyle business. So that's why there's such a wide diversity in status of business. Anyway, thank you, and there is pizza and soda outside, so please enjoy.